to rest. Oh yeah. Sports, pop culture, wrestling too. We got it all with the very best. Tune into the filter-free podcast for the latest in entertainment news. TNA Top 10 will make you laugh with their hilarious views.
Hello and welcome to the Ram Network. I'm so used to us doing world-class flashback that this is a little strange. We're live now, pal.
We're live, pal.
We are doing the Ram Network Double or Nothing pre-show.
My
And
bad. I'll
there's
let you post.
Andrew Hermes. Just
What
joining
you say,
in.
Red?
What's that?
What you say, man?
Oh, everything's good. What about y'all?
His clock's about 2 minutes slow. It's okay. It's the
We're
internet,
good.
isn't it?
Off is the direction you can fuck, sir.
I'm going to tell you, if I watch this pay-per-view, I will want to, trust me. So we're here to cover AEW Double or Nothing. Boys, I looked at this card. What are we doing here?
Getting our shit in.
Rebel asked me if I was excited about any of the matches, and other than Swerve and Christian.
You're excited about a Christian Cage match, and oh yeah, it's 2024.
He's doing good stuff, but I'm really excited about Swerve Strickland. I mean, I mean, it's kind of like in the old days. If somebody that I liked was wrestling somebody that I didn't like, I could get through it.
Understood. How you feeling about it, Andrew?
I think there's a lot of holes in the creative on this particular pay-per-view, but it will be good matches. There will be good matches on this show.
I believe they'll put good matches in, but I wonder, because I feel like we've already had the finger poke of doom moment for AEW. When is the moment where they go off the pay-per-view before it ends or something silly happens, and then finally we see that the Emperor's not wearing clothes? Because poor Tony Khan, man, he's way over his head.
I mean, it's just there's more emphasis on in-ring on an AEW show than a storyline. Now there are some stories going on. I mean, the Young Bucks. I mean, they're the Elite versus Team AEW. When I saw it and I read who Team AEW was, I was like, how the fuck did we get to that?
Right?
But
I thought Danielson was the heel.
How did you get Danielson? Did you look at him in a booking meeting and say, well,
that guy.
You are Team AEW, so let's throw you in there with FTR and the little guy with the Death Wish and see what happens.
The little guy with the Death Wish. I love it. All right, well, let's run this card down then.
Hey, let's welcome our group, our chat though. Bobby,
Who?
Bobby KF5 is with us.
See, I was going to welcome Amy since she's on the show. So
Thank you, Tim.
But hey, whatever. You might not see us after tonight, so you better get your last wishes in for us.
We got Willie Thornbrew, Jason Young from Nova Scotia, good friend of mine, one of my belt brothers for over 20 years, and Heather Whitley.
Trying to watch her internet's worse than Andrew's. Well, we got Andrew upgraded, so look at that. Barely any movement. Now, if we could just get his background fixed, we'd be perfect.
I hadn't seen Amy
Is it
in a
off?
while. Hey, Amy.
No, it's just the
good.
virtual backgrounds always have like shiftiness to them. It's fun.
Oh,
We're gonna get you a green screen and put it behind you. It's gonna be fabulous. You can get one of them rigs for about $60. It'd be great.
don't know if I can afford it.
Sell 3 more cars and you can afford it.
Podcasting's kind of like owning a boat. There's a new charge every week, it seems like.
Right? The 2 best shows of your podcast are the first and the last. Is that what it is? Just like a boat?
I've never been more excited about podcasting, and I'm glad that we're all together I mean, I'm going to watch this show tonight. We're going to watch. I'm going to host a watch along. So I'm watching this show, and I'm not torn up about. I mean, I'm more excited about the pre-show. What do they call it? The buy-in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more excited about the buy-in because I mean the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass against Brian Cage and Gates of Agony. The Acclaimed will be entertaining with Daddy Ass. They'll be entertaining. And Thunder Rosa versus Deandra Purrazzo. I mean, I'm all in on Thunder Rosa. So,
How's it on the pre-show?
huh?
Yeah.
How are either of them on the pre-show?
Well, because you've got more wrestlers than Carter's got pills.
I'm an Acclaimed guy, but Deonna Purrazzo, Thunder Rosa does not belong on the pre-show when they're 2 of your best wrestlers in AEW in the women's division.
I agree.
Well, I would make an argument that the Bang Bang Gang versus the Death Triangle could be the Bang Bang Gang versus the Acclaimed or Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. I mean, you could go either way with that.
Bobby wants to know.
But I mean, that's just they've got so much. They got so much, and I don't know if they spun the wheel and made the deal, or if he's got like numbers assigned and he rolls a tub of Yahtzee dice and they add up to this guy's getting the nod tonight. I don't understand it, but on paper, a lot of these matches look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, we talked about we've already talked about the buy-in, but right off the bat, why don't we talk about the Bang Bang Gang, which is Jay White, Austin and Colton Gunn versus the Death Triangle, which is Pac, Ray Phoenix, and Penta El Zero for the Unified Trios titles. Whoops. I thought they unified them, and I thought they unified the belts, and they were just kind of going to do away with the Ring of Honor 6-man. But I noticed that the Bang Bang Gang are not just carrying the AEW 6-man trios. God Almighty! I want to hit myself in the hammer when I call them that. It's like such a douchey name for the 6-man titles. But then you got the Ring of Honor 6-man, and then they got the custom belts that the Scissor Bunch did, and because the other night they had 9 belts between them, and they just threw them in a wagon and pulled them to the ring.
Scissor Bunch.
No, they need a wheelbarrow. That's what they need. A wheelbarrow for their belts.
Yeah,
It'll be a banger.
So are we going to eventually break up the tag belts again? I don't know.
Neither did they. That's the fun part.
But I think it's going to be a good match. I don't know Jay White to have a bad match. Pac and Penta and Phoenix. I mean, they're going to do a lot of flip flop and fly.
I was going to say the only bad matches they have are with the Young Bucks because none of it looks real.
I got to imagine that the bald-headed one's going to be the referee because there's not going to be any rules enforced in this match.
Rick Knox.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Knox. Do you think the titles will change hands? Do you think the
No.
Bang Bang Gang will?
No.
Bang Bang Gang retains.
I think the Bang Bang.
They got to do something better with Jay White, though. But I
around.
could say that about several of their wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't be parading around with those scissor belts still if they weren't going to keep going with something with the Acclaimed.
Do you think the Acclaimed will be? I was going to say, Bobby says, do we have any surprise returns? Was one of the Acclaimed injured?
Caster's back. He was suspended, allegedly suspended for the HR comment last pay-per-view, which was hilarious. And it's his gimmick. So for all the snowflakes out there, shut the fuck up and enjoy the program.
So I wonder if they'll make a surprise return of some sort.
Amy, have you
They
ever seen
won't.
a
They're on the
tick
pre-show,
on a
honey.
dog?
Oh, they're on the pre-show. Oh, that's right.
They're on the
Do
pre-show.
what, Tim?
Who would
Have
be
you
a
ever seen it?
surprise? MJF? Does MJF
Hangman.
ride in on the white horse to save Team AEW?
Hangman.
Oh, even
Does
worse.
Hangman ride in on the white horse to join the elite?
Well, he is the guy with the horse, so that would make sense.
True.
Well,
I think it's
thought
too early.
I thought he had skinny jeans and a Prius, but
Well, but you know what is the next pay-per-view for them? Is it Wimbledon?
Forbidden Door.
Wimbledon.
Forbidden Door.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to say, Coach Keith. I think it's too early for MJF. I think they're going to have to hold him off so he appears at Wembley to help those sales. That's my thought, anyway.
No, all they got to do is put Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland in the ring for Wembley in the main event, and it'll sell it out.
Yeah, but I don't want Swerve to lose.
Well,
I mean,
people in hell want ice water, and they don't get that either, Amy. But
is there no one that thinks that MJF could be jumping ship? Because I firmly believe he's going to.
Supposedly, they reported a couple days ago that he quietly re-signed with AEW.
where would he fit in right now? Do you really think that he'd find success in WWE with their loaded roster?
Yes.
If Triple H will let him be MJF, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget his best friend is, kind of the champ over there. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, comparing him to, do you think that he stacks up to Cody, or do you think he's more stacks up to LA Knight?
Well, I think
on that roster.
Yeah.
If he were to come over, he would. He would obviously come in as a heel and, work his way up. They wouldn't just bring him in the main event, I don't think, but they'd bring him in intercontinental level, I would think.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. I think it may come down to how many zeros and commas he has on his check.
I was gonna say I haven't heard a report of a Brinks truck in New Jersey recently, so
yeah.
Either
y'all think?
He hasn't signed with anyone yet.
True.
So what do y'all think on the Bang Bang Gang against the Death Triangle?
Bang Bang Gang.
Bang Bang Gang.
All Bang Bang. I'm gonna take
notes. You gonna take notes?
Ooh.
My obligation for 7 o'clock was canceled, Dave. So we can we'll be able to get through the entire program without me jumping off, Tim, just for you, buddy.
I'll tell you what, it'll probably be better if we just sit here and talk all the way through their pay-per-view and then no one's got to watch it.
Well, I've got to host the party, so
there'll be more storytelling here than there, so it'll be great.
Well, we're far more creative than Tony Khan's booking, but
definitely.
Our roster's not as big.
Think if I hosted the party and hit the record button and we kept the pre-show going on during the party.
You'd never know.
You think Evan and Conrad would get mad?
Nah, I bet they wouldn't.
No, they'll be all right.
They wouldn't until they saw my face, and they'd be like, "Oh, pull that shit."
I put my reading glasses on during Rebel's happy hour, and Corey called me out for it in front of Rebel.
Well, you look.
But Rebel said glasses were sexy, so.
Did you tell her that you're an elderly and she can buy that shirt at jumpinthepond.com?
That's right. That's right.
But she's aware I'm an elderly.
Anyway.
Right.
Okay.
What's match number 2?
Why?
Huh?
What's match number 2?
I look like an elderly. Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. This Dynamite Collision Rampage main eventer is going to be on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, not the pre-show.
How many times have they wrestled?
Where we could have, I don't know, maybe slotted Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo. We're gonna put this on the main show.
I agree with both of you because Dave just said, how many times are we going to see this? Now, Orange Cassidy's going to win tonight. That's pretty clear. Obviously, they've got some Don Calais nonsense going on, as Tony calls him.
So Orange maybe going hill with Don Calais?
I don't think so. I mean, it would be the smart thing to do, but then this program is run by Tony Khan. So
I think it would be smart. I think Orange needs. I mean, his kid has got old. I think it needs a new coat of paint.
needs a I was gonna say needs repackaged. But
change the color of his jeans.
Yeah, I mean, I was not an
Dark
Orange
blonde.
Cassidy guy. It took me some convincing.
I came around on him.
But I came around on Orange Cassidy and really enjoy his work, but they're not really doing anything with him that's beneficial to him or the promotion. And the Trent Beretta thing, I mean, how many times are you going to pile drive him on the stairs? And then Orange immediately get up.
Right.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Apparently, he doesn't know how to do it. So
See, when I see Orange Cassidy,
Orange
I
Cassidy
think
for the win. We think.
Oh, there's no way Orange loses.
Well, Tim was going to say something though. What was that, Tim?
When I see Orange Cassidy, I think of like a Triple H type character. Your character has to evolve. You can't do that shit for the rest of your career. That's not how it's going to work.
Right.
You have to find something else that's going to separate you, because half the wrestling community hates him. Like, I like him. I think his gimmick's fun, but that's not a main event gimmick. You're never going to see that guy in the world title picture.
Right. Hi, fun director.
And he's a hell of a worker. Hey, Justin.
He is. Once he gets wound up, he is good to go. But something has to break him out of that gimmick. You can be cool and not start off by just slowing everything down.
Here's the problem, though, and I don't disagree with you, Tim. I think he's done this version of this gimmick for almost a decade at this point.
Yeah,
sure.
So I don't know.
So you can evolve.
Well, and I get that. What I'm saying is, I don't know that he knows how. I don't know if he'd know how to do anything different.
But he's such a good worker. Why could you not just start with the fast pace?
Well, like you said, though, that would be a good chance would be going to Don Cal, doing something, at least it's a change.
turn him heel maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it doesn't,
something. Yeah.
And a heel version of Orange Cassidy, he comes out just all wound up, and like the fans boo because he's not doing his slow motion shit. And then you just bring him out like the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Give him some Prime Energy drink before the match. See what it does.
I am shocked that nobody's drank a Prime Energy on AEW.
Well, that's because it got Woo Energy, and it tastes so good. Jungle Boy took a sip of it and dumped it out on Tony promptly after that. So
yeah, but I'm just saying the way they always shout out WWE, I can't believe that they don't drink Prime on there. Just
well, that would seem counterproductive. So that's probably tonight on the pay-per-view in the main event.
Considering that the Grifter's got his energy drink anyway.
Next up, we're going to defend the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
No, you're not.
No, we're not. It's an eliminator.
It's an eliminator, which is stupid. It's okay. So if Takeshita wins against Moxley, he gets the world. He gets the world title shot for IWGP. He's the next guy in line. That belt is his.
Why would you
sooner rather than later
on the pay-per-view?
What's that?
With this eliminator bullshit.
Well, Tony Khan loves eliminator matches, and can any of the four of you name one person that's won an eliminator match and gone on to challenge for the championship, and even more than that, challenge for the championship and win the title?
I can't.
It's never happened. It's never happened. Takeshita will win tonight, Timmy. It's Takeshita.
It's Takeshita.
Put some respect on the man's name that's replacing Okada in Japanese wrestling, and he will win that title.
For that, because I'm the same way. I can't help but think that because of him.
I just Konosuke
Takeshita.
I mean, it looks like Takeshita.
Okay, so Japanese is phonetic. Takeshita.
Well, phonetic, it says take a shit And by the way, I'm not even giving Cornette credit because I don't listen to that asshole either.
That's how I used to say it, and I popped myself coming, and I didn't realize anybody else was doing it. But then I've come to respect him as a wrestler, so I go out of my way to try to say his name right.
So good. He's so good. Him and Moxley are going to have a banger. Moxley's bleeding before the entrance is over.
Yes, exactly.
I watched Arcade 85 last night, and like only 2 people on the whole show didn't bleed. I'm not ever criticizing blood in AEW again because my favorite show, my favorite pay-per-view of all time had more blood in it. I mean, it was.
Well, the original Double or Nothing had more blood than you're going to see tonight, just because Dustin damn near bled out.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm. Yeah. He
And
left
I
a
was
pint
there
or two.
live.
I was too. Best match I've ever seen. Live.
It's pretty good. It's pretty
But
good.
but this, I mean, I'm befuddled that you wouldn't just that you'd put an eliminator on a pay-per-view.
So who are we going with? Moxley, who's going to have bled out before he gets to the ring, or take a shit?
Takeshita.
I'm going
If
with
it's an eliminator,
Takeshita.
Takeshita has to win to get the shot. Anybody
Yep.
think it's going to be Moxley?
Justin, you're muted.
Muted, dummy.
I think Moxley puts him over. So
All four of us are in agreement.
Mhm.
Well, there's 5 of us here.
There's 5
Yeah.
of them. But my vote doesn't count because I call him take a shitter.
Fucking Mississippi math again. Good Lord. Listen to World Class watching you and Tim do math. So Kevin Von Erich was born in 1954.
By
This
the
is
way-
1984.
By the way, World Class Flashback, highest rated show on the network. Thank you.
Not
Woohoo!
shocking.
Way to go, guys.
And I mean, when you click on the analytics, it's not like 34 impressions and they only watched for 2 minutes. They're watching the whole thing.
'Cause
We
we're
love it.
very
Thank y'all for that.
entertaining.
All right, we got Chris Jericho, who is the FTW champion.
What?
Again, yeah, he's defending against Hook and Katsuyori Shibata.
You got that
Hmm.
right. Shibata. Yeah.
Shibata for the FTW title.
Don't
Is
forget,
he-
he's with Big Bill. Chris Jericho got Big Bill with him.
The
Is
learning
Shibata-
tree.
The Shibata's in his corner, is in Hook's corner, or is it a
It's
three?
No,
a-
it's a
three-way
it's a
match.
3-way. It's a 3-way because Jericho and Hook stunk the joint up the last time. So they figure
Okay.
adding Shibata to this
They needed
Um,
another.
will
Player.
make it better.
I think Hook wins. He needs his
I-
title back. This is stupid.
I think Hook wins and Shibata takes the pin.
Mhm.
I think Jericho needs to retire.
I think Jericho goes over.
I thought that 5 years ago. Thanks.
I think Jericho's gonna steal the win.
Mm,
I
that's
think
a
they're
possibility too.
in the mode of bringing Hook up, and so to make him stronger and not take the wind out of Jericho, I think that's why Shibata will take the pinfall. That's
Here's the question though. We got Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa, and we can't put this 3-way on the pre-show. And there's all the speculation Hook's going to NXT when his contract's up.
What?
So
so
how many for Jericho? Just me.
Sure. They make bad decisions. I think it's going to be Jericho.
How about for Hook? We got Justin and who else? And Amy,
me.
Andrew. Nobody thinks Shibata. All right. Shibata, who sounds like a bread.
Shibata.
Well,
I'm
you
hungry.
got-
I'm
take
here.
a
I'm
take a
here to
shitta
Shibata.
and a bread
Shibata.
boy. They
You're
need me to
horrible,
name
kid.
all the Japanese wrestlers.
All right. Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage match for the TNT Championship. Malachi
This
Black in a singles match. How about that, y'all?
By the way,
This
if
one's gonna be
Copeland
better.
loses, he has to bend the knee and join the House of Black.
Did you all see JD Hoop's artwork of Malachi Black? That was
Yes.
fantastic. And because of that, I am going with Malachi Black. I think he's going to win. He needs to win.
I think it's
When's the
time.
last time he's won?
Yeah, I
agreed.
think it's time to repackage Edge. I don't know though.
It's not Edge. It's Adam Copeland. You're legally not allowed to say that.
Rose by any other name.
Adam Rose? No, he's arrested.
I think it's going to be Malachi Black. I think we're gonna have a reluctant Adam Copeland.
I think Adam Copeland gets injured during the match, and he may not appear in AEW again.
He may not be as reluctant. I mean, he wants to go to, he has a dark side, so maybe he will enjoy being part of the House of Black.
And then maybe at Forbidden Door we get his old faction from WWE come over to AEW.
He has been teasing a Brood appearance. So whether it happens tonight with Gangrel, potentially.
What about Christian?
Christian's got his own stuff tonight. So
yeah, he'll be busy in his sleeveless turtleneck.
I love that though.
We call that a
it's
dickie.
He's doing
hilarious.
That is
He's going to be busy with the dickie.
I don't think Adam Copeland wins this match though, because you're not doing anything for Malachi if you put Edge or Adam Copeland over in a match with that particular stipulation.
Right.
So
yeah, either way, this match is going to be a banger. I think both of them are going to put all of it.
This might be the match of the night.
Yeah.
Tim doesn't agree.
I don't think it's the match of the night either.
Have y'all seen Edge's birth Adam Copeland's birth certificate? Not going to be the match of the night. Y'all probably thought that Randy Orton Edge match was good at WrestleMania that went like 7.5 hours.
Did not.
At that point, it was just a rib because they were going that long.
You won't hear me say this. I mean, I'm not an Edge Adam Copeland fan.
We haven't even got to what I think is going to be the match of the night.
We haven't either.
I would say though that the Edge Finn Balor match was a banger, and I mean he's got it in him still, so it's not.
Yeah,
there's not a doubt of it's going to happen. I think it's just
better now. I think he's better now than he was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
well, I think it's before he retired.
He was retired
injuries
10 years ago.
Before he got hurt.
The bright spot to the injuries for both him and Christian is it extended their careers and gave them some different longevity. They've also got better recovery, better medical, better training, meaning athletic training, not wrestling training. So he's been able to extend his career, but I just don't see any benefit of him winning against Malachi.
Yeah,
agreed. But going back to it, it's all about your dance partner, right? And so if you can get a good dance partner, you can have one hell of a dance. So that's why I'm saying this could be a good match tonight.
And I think Malachi is underutilized in every aspect.
This could be a coming out party for him. How many years now has he been there? Way overdue. I don't remember the last time he was in a singles match.
No.
Cody Rhodes? No, I'm kidding. It probably wasn't that long ago. But...
I mean, I can't remember. And if he was, it was an enhancement guy.
Yep.
Because he's always in a tag team match. So are we all saying Malachi Black? Anybody think it's going to be Edge? All right. Next up, we have Roderick Strong, who's the champion, defending against Will Ospreay for the International Championship.
Match of the night.
Yeah, it is.
Could be. It could be.
I agree.
I like me some Will Ospreay.
Best wrestler in the world in the current incarnation of what we call professional wrestling, and it's not close.
So, I don't disagree with that. I'm high on Will Ospreay.
I've met Will Ospreay. Love him. Great person.
They would be stupid to beat him. They just need to keep that rolling all the way to Wembley. And
I understand that they keep you won't beat him, but could there be outside interference from
Taven and Bennett?
From Taven and Bennett
and Wardlow?
I mean, could the champion get disqualified?
Oh yeah,
that'd be the only way they save it. Yeah, that's the only way they save it, because Wardlow, obviously last pay-per-view, they had that little interaction with Adam Cole, and I mean, if Ospreay walks away with the title, then he can blame Wardlow and they can have their little program, which is dumb.
I mean, do we need? I'm in my head about does Ospreay need this international championship, because he's gonna? I believe he's gonna get the world title shot against Swerve at Wembley.
I think he's gonna be the one to take it off Swerve.
But Tony Khan has such a hard on for champion versus champion.
Well,
I mean, a lot of times he gives a tag champion a title shot against the champion, or he uses his champions to put over new guys. And
Yeah.
he will use a champion, a Ring of Honor champion for enhancement talent. Sometimes,
Yeah,
again, he did that. He did that with Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher.
Well, I don't think Roddy is a bad wrestler.
Why are you being a champion on television?
Yeah, this is a bad spot for Roderick Strong because Will Ospreay is probably the hottest wrestler in the world, even before AEW. And they've used him better than Monet and Okada in terms of the acquisitions from this year. But I think there's no need to put the belt on him. There's no need to put the title on him, because he's not going to elevate it. Will Ospreay's greater than the international world title. He's greater than the AEW world title. He could be the face of the promotion where he don't need any titles. He's just a guy. But
yeah.
I don't think there's any benefit of beating him either.
They used Moxley like that for like a year. The guy that was just better.
Yeah, Moxley hasn't lost 10 matches in 5 years, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Or 15. I mean, it's not that many that he's lost.
I do think, though, I think Roderick will retain, but it will be because of interference. Like, that seems like that's the match where you would get some interference to cause Will Ospreay to lose, whether it's Adam Cole, somebody, Wardlow, whatever, because you're right. It doesn't make any sense to take that belt from Roderick Strong and put it on Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay he's going up. Like, this is, I don't, like you said, I don't really think there's a reason to do that, but I do think he loses. But like I said, he doesn't lose. I mean, he wins, but he doesn't win the belt.
Yeah, I think Ospreay wins qualification.
And to your point, this is the short-sighted booking of Tony Khan. We have the shiny new toy. Let's put him in this battle royal-esque match or whatever they called it, where he's going to go ahead and win because he's Ospreay, and then you're going to put him against Roddy, who's a very capable worker, extremely good professional wrestler, and you've booked yourself into a corner. Because do you take this title off of Roderick Strong? Do you beat Will Ospreay? He had no out for this, which is that's why it's cool. You're going to have the best match of the night, potentially end in a disqualification, because we don't know how to get out of the situation we've created.
Unless you've got a good storyline built up. I mean, that's only
we've established they don't do that here.
That's the problem. There's not one in this particular instance. And if he doesn't use the Tiger Driver, so you have that with the Callis guy with Callis, but otherwise, what benefit do we have here?
Which match
or what out do we have here? Excuse me.
Which match here has great storytelling? The best storytelling is the Elite versus Team AEW, which, by the way, the back end of that storytelling is terrible, but the front end was created by a guy that's in WWE right now. What are we doing here?
Well, Timeless Tony Storm and Serena Deeb kind of have a story. Serena Deeb's long road back.
Tony Storm has a story, but I don't really know. Serena just kind of popped in.
I mean, that's a wood chipper. They're just feeding Deeb right to Tony Storm.
Tony Storm draped herself in like a Serena Deeb flag the other night.
Yeah. No, I appreciate what Tony Storm's doing. What I'm saying is they're just feeding women to her right now.
Is she a true heel?
They don't have one.
Yeah, for them to build up their women's division, I know we're transitioning off the Roddy match, right? But they have to make sure that they're utilizing their talent appropriately, right? And so right now, they continue to bring in these big names and not utilize them accordingly. They've got 2 belts that they're doing. Monet's fighting for, I think, the TBS one, right?
Yeah.
Right? And so at the end of the day, they've got the talent there. Right. They've got the talent there. They just need to start building the storylines and making people care why they're there. Deonna Purrazzo is a perfect example, right? She debuts. She has a couple matches. You don't hear from her anymore, right? So is she injured? What's going on? You have Camille.
She's wrestling Thunder Rosa on the back.
She's wrestling Thunder Rosa, but it's on the pre-show, which doesn't make any sense.
No. But then you have Camille, who's potentially signed to AEW, and what's that going to do? Like you've got
Exactly.
all this talent, you've got great talent, but unless you're building storylines or making people care about this division, it's going to continue to be the division that it is.
That
So-
might be a good surprise. A surprise if Camille shows up tonight somewhere. Maybe I think Mercedes is going to win. I know that we're jumping around. I think Mercedes is going to win. I don't think there's no way she could come in and not win. But it'd be interesting if we see something, or even Camille in the Thunder Rosa. You know, that would kind of be wasting.
Camille and Thunder
but,
Rosa
you know,
have a past.
You know,
The NWA World Championship. Tim's got his hand up.
Yeah, Tim has his hand up.
So I haven't been watching the product. What happened to Riho or Britt Baker or the rest of this division?
Britt's been
Britt
injured.
Baker,
Yeah, she's injured.
Britt Baker's
Okay.
injured. Yeah,
Riho?
I don't know. Don't care.
If she
the
was
little
on a
girl.
few
Yeah,
weeks- she was on about a month
98
ago.
pounds. Yeah,
But
Took out Nyla Rose for the title.
where's Nyla Rose at?
Ring of Honor. She's featured on
Yeah.
Ring of Honor.
They
as
own
is
that,
Athena.
right?
As
Yes.
is Athena.
Yeah,
and
I mean, they have soap. All right,
Hey, and Athena.
Amy, back to this. You know what a tick does on a dog?
Yeah.
Okay, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger
Sucks the
and
blood.
bigger. Yeah. What happens at the end?
It
explodes.
explodes.
It pops. Yep.
Right. Okay.
AEW roster. Getting
Mm.
ready for that.
Yeah, managing the resources is a problem Tony Khan has because he's got more money than you could fucking burn in a lifetime, but he doesn't know how to use it properly.
He's using better women on Ring of Honor than he is on his main roster. Athena on Ring of Honor is wasted.
He's
And let's-
using the women
she's a
better,
good
not
teacher.
using better women.
She's a
And
good
let's
teacher,
not-
though.
And let's not pass on the point. In a triple main event, it's not Tony Storm, Serena Deeb, it's Mercedes Monet, Willow Nightingale. It's part of the
Mhm.
triple main event.
Which makes zero sense.
What about Sky
true.
Blue? I see her on the internet all the time. She seems pretty popular.
Yeah, she's on there quite a bit.
But
She's
she
on there
ain't on
quite a
here.
bit, but they use her on Ring of Honor also.
Interesting.
So when
Can
is
we-
Ring of Honor having a pay-per-view that I can watch? I mean, you're like all these
A
great
good one.
women over
you have to-
here.
Yeah, you have to have Honor Club to watch it. He's really mismanaged his acquisition of that as well.
It
Can we
needs
go
to
back?
be his NXT.
Yeah, really. Can we go back and vote or say who's between Roderick Strong and
Oh, I thought we did. I'm sorry, Amy.
no, I just don't, because we kind of got off track, and I know, and then I even made it more off track because I started talking about Mercedes and Willow.
Who you got on
Nightingale, so
Osprey?
Roddy by DQ.
I agree.
I
with
got
you.
Osprey.
I got Roddy
You got Roddy winning.
Or well, I guess
by DQ.
Osprey by DQ is what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, Osprey's
Yeah,
going.
I got Osprey.
Roddy retains by being DQ'd.
Yes.
Correct.
We're all
Yeah.
thinking.
Yep.
So
It's the only
Osprey winner.
feasible out. Unless
Yeah.
you put the title on him. So
And that's not unheard of because he do like his champion versus champion matches.
We can take
Very
that off
true.
of him in a minute.
Yeah. Because if
Okay,
because
sorry.
if you let Osprey win the world title and you got a vacant title, what are you gonna have?
Tournament.
And
tournament.
that motherfucker loves tournaments.
Who doesn't love a good tournament?
God, how bad is this? Come on.
Hey, he should do the tournament. He ought to do a tournament next year in conjunction with the Final Four.
What
I
are
mean,
we
with the
doing?
NCAA tournament, and have 64. Have a
Good
bracket,
news. He
Well,
has
wait.
all the talent to do it.
and then we're going to do a
yeah,
show
he's
and
got the
complain
roster.
and we'll do a show complaining about the 30 that didn't get used in the 64.
Because there's also
They'll
those.
have those three that will, like how they have the 68. Like we'll have 3 or 4 that will be vying to be in the tournament.
Yeah.
You
And
know
the
what's
fun
really
part
great
of
about
the
it is
Arcade
Christian's going to
64
be one left out, and he's
It's
in the
like
main
in the-
event tonight.
In the third round, he'll say, "This is going to be a gimmick match. We're going to have them do it
Terrible.
just out of just randomly making gimmick matches during the tournament."
Terrible.
Oh, I love it.
All right,
Alright,
so
this
what do
one.
we have left
Brutal.
here?
I
Brutal.
was Tony Storm versus Serena Deeb.
Did we just-
and we all
we didn't-
agreed that Serena. Huh?
Yeah, Tony Storm wins.
Definitely.
There's no way Serena wins this belt. Got you.
Nope.
She's as old as I am. There's no way.
And she's probably one of the best wrestlers the women's division has, but they're not going to put the title on her and kills Toni Storm's momentum.
She's the
Exactly.
best
You need
trainer.
Britt Baker or somebody that big to take Toni Storm down.
Well, I'm sure that you're building towards Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm.
Title versus title?
Guaranteed.
But if you wanted to
Because
really make,
again, if she
And then you can have a tournament
Yeah.
afterwards.
but if you really want to make Toni Storm a heel, you would have a returning Baker.
she's not going to be a heel though. I mean, she's like Bobby Roode with Glorious.
I know
Her
that's what I'm
presentation-
saying.
Her
If
presentation
you-
is so entertaining.
right.
that-
You have
I mean,
to put someone
people
that's
don't boo
going
it.
to be
Yeah. Chin up,
know.
shoulders back, tits out. Watch out for the shoe. That's not heel stuff.
right. No,
It's
I
too
agree.
entertaining to remain a heel. I mean, you'll see a picture of her with 5 other women, and they'll make sure that they gimmick her picture to look black and white.
That was great at Ruby
It's
Soho's
awesome.
wedding. That was funny.
And for y'all that don't know, and I say it every chance I get, she's doing Marlena Dietrich from the Carol Burnett show. And Luther is Max, the Harvey Korman character. If y'all go throw that in your Google machine and watch clips of Carol Burnett and that skit, Toni Storm is doing that character and Max is doing the Harvey Korman character. And I love it.
That's got to be some Tony Schiavone up in there.
It's the most genius because you go back and steal shit that the young people aren't going to know. But it's timeless, all right, because it's still funny.
Yes.
I love it, man. I love Toni Storm.
She has definitely had some good one-liners. It's really entertaining.
And she's been able to pull it off. That's
Right.
the key.
So 2 matches left. We have the Elite, which is Okada, Jungle Boy, and the Young Bucks versus Team AEW. Daniel Bryan, I don't know how he got there. Darby Allin and FTR.
I have a point about that.
Anarchy in the Arena. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, this is going to be one of those bullshit filmed matches.
Is this where
There's
the
a
golf
lot.
cart comes
There's a
out
lot
and-
on the there's a lot on the bone here. Okay, so if y'all remember the first Anarchy in the Arena match, Sammy Guevara gets run down with a golf cart by the Elite.
Right.
Then they do the horse. Then they do the one-winged angel off of the stadium. In one of the other Anarchy in one of the other Anarchy in the Arena matches, Eddie Kingston poured gasoline on somebody, and I can't remember who it was for the life of me, but he poured gasoline on somebody and actually cost him the match. Now, as I said on my own show, TNA Top 10 with Terry and Allison the other night, Wednesday, Tony Khan drives Darby Allin to the arena. He comes out in his pink jacket with a fucking flamethrower. Why not? Just why not at this point? So
Yeah,
now we're
that
going to
was-
see a flamethrower at Anarchy in the Arena in a professional wrestling match, which is absolutely ridiculous. So, question Tim posed, and then he left. Whatever.
Nature called.
Why is Bryan Danielson in this match? Eddie Kingston's hurt, and it does put a hole in their creative because it was the Tiger Driver that put him out,
Mhm.
and we never tied that loose end up with Will Ospreay. We just let it float out in the air as if it never happened.
I did
again,
think the
Bad creative.
Same thing with you, like the flamethrower, because I'm like, there are people in this audience. He has it behind him and stuff. I'm just like, I don't want the Elite to win. I wonder if there's something with if Tony Khan's going to make an appearance in this somehow because he drove Darby Allin in the truck. The Elite, I do like Matthew and what's the other one's name?
Nicholas.
I like this though. I like that kind of. I mean, everybody. I like that assholey, thing that they're doing.
It works for them. It really does work for them.
I don't know if we should already be doing Anarchy in the Arena. Like we're already pitting, NWO versus the, Team WCW is what I feel like. I don't think the Elite wins. I don't know
I mean,
how
they're
it's going to
they-
go, but I don't think
They lean
will.
into the safe workspace,
Yeah.
and that annoys me. Not like it's supposed to annoy me, because I'm
Right.
thinking that you guys were too stupid to make money.
Yes.
But I got to admit that this might be the best use of the Young Bucks. This incarnation of them is probably the best use of them that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Amy, I think you mentioned a good point, but I'm going to disagree with you on the point, though. You
No.
said it's too early, right? And then
I
you
think
picked
it
the
is.
Elite to lose. I think because it's too early, I'm picking the Elite to win because I think it's too early to kill the momentum of the storyline
Right.
and call it a storyline or whatnot. But I think by losing, it decreases their power right now of the buildup of what they're trying to get to.
That's very true.
And
Yeah.
they probably
Yeah,
are
the
going to go
Young Bucks-
one stronger than that.
Do what,
The
Dave?
Young Bucks character is. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Andrew.
All I was going to say is the Young Bucks character is great. Then the bell rings. They haven't hit a Meltzer driver clean since the birth of AEW, and their in-ring work is absolute horse shit. So
Hairline ain't
And on the
great
oth-
either.
And on the other side, you've got the best tag team in the world. So there you are.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that they're going to. I think the Elite's going to win tonight.
I
But
think
I think it's because
I think-
they're probably going to add another member to it.
Mm-hmm. I could see
I-
that.
It may, if not, maybe not one, but maybe two.
Wouldn't shock
Yeah.
me if it was Tony Khan. And I mean that. It would not surprise me if it was Tony Khan.
I mean, can we do NWO?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say Eric Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff.
Like I said,
Vince
God, if
McMahon,
Bischoff came out,
the
I'd
higher
never
power.
criticize
You know?
Tony Khan again. I would never criticize him again. If Eric Bischoff became an on-screen character with the Elite, which is not going to happen.
I would rather
think-
see Tony Schiavone become an on-screen character with the Elite.
Well, that could be interesting. If he's down for
But I
it.
think you've got Hangman's a possibility and of coming back. I think Tony Khan is a possibility. Some shenanigans are going to result in the Elite winning this match.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think this is the match that takes Daniel Bryan out for a while. He's hurting. He needs some surgery. So I think this is his send off for a while.
And I mean, maybe Kenny Omega.
He just had
There is
surgery.
nothing. There is nothing sexy about dying in the ring. Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson or whatever you want to call himself needs to go away. and
What's
take care of
wrong?
himself
What
to
is his
Dustin's point.
injury? Like I said, I haven't been watching. What's his injury?
Vertebrae
Oh,
in his neck.
Yeah, no. That
How he's
isn't
even in this
what
match.
knocked him out?
Yep. How he's even
Yeah,
in this match
it's his-
is beyond me.
Yeah,
All right,
neck
have
and
we
back. I
not
mean, he's got
seen where they-
multiple.
Go
Well, he
ahead.
just
But
had,
again-
he just had a singles match with Satnam the other night, and
Well-
a 6-man match.
All right.
He was just
We-
in the ring.
We've all
with Jeff
heard Ric
Jarrett
Flair
yesterday.
say he wants to die in the ring. Do you think Bryan Danielson is a whole lot different?
Nope.
Well, I don't
But
wanna
I don't
Bryan
either.
Danielson is 40 years younger.
He says he is. He says that he's only going to do this a little bit longer because he wants to spend time with his daughter. He told his
Right.
daughter he'd give it up.
And again, with the anarchy in the arena, like you said, there's a lot of props, a lot
Yeah,
of
there-
shenanigans to really.
Yeah, they can make it look way
Camouflage.
worse than
This
it
isn't.
actually
This
is.
isn't. This isn't live. This will. I bet they've already shot it. I mean, they probably
If
shot it
it-
last night.
If someone hits
Oh,
him with
yeah.
a forklift or something, you can totally just
Yeah.
camera
Well, it
trick
it
that.
will be. Part of this will be live, Dave. Part of this will be because they got to finish.
Yeah, they
the
will
match.
come back
So-
to the. But if you
Yeah.
hit like Danielson with a forklift in the arena and then you bring it out into the crowd, like
Yeah.
there's ways you can do it, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
hadn't.
Yeah,
But
no, they've
but-
been. I agree with you.
I maintain this is Tony Khan. They might just kill a son of a bitch in the ring.
Mm,
Hey, look at Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara.
Guevara.
Yeah.
oh, let's not.
That had
Samuel
no
Hall-
business
yeah.
continuing. I know we're not talking about that match, but that had no business. I'm at home and knew something was wrong. That there was no reason for that match to continue.
Yeah. You can always tell. You can always tell when Rebby starts tweeting.
Yeah, really.
All
All
right.
right, so one more. Swerve Strickland, the champion of AEW, with Prince Nana, which is never mind, versus
Y-
Christian
you're-
Cage with Killswitch, Nick Wayne, and Mother Wayne.
We actually missed you missed a match, Tim, but it's okay.
Who?
Mercedes.
We missed Mercedes and
Oh,
Willow.
I thought we talked about that.
If only we could miss that.
We kind of talked about it, but I took us off the page. That was my fault.
My bad. I thought we talked. All right, so Willow Nightingale, the champion, the TBS champion, versus Mercedes Moné, or as everyone with a pulse knows her, Sasha Banks.
She has to win. She can't. come
Mercedes
back.
Moné. Yeah. And I think she's trash. Like WWE knew how to accentuate the positive.
You leave
with
my
her.
Facebook friend alone, bitch.
Yeah, well, they knew how to accentuate the positive with her, and she is the weak link of the four horsewomen of the WWE.
Agreed.
Absolutely is not been good in the ring, has been very sloppy, and her promos are absolute hot garbage.
Yeah, they've always been hot garbage. Even when she was Sasha Banks, they were not great. But I kind of think with her, and I kind of thought this about the Naomi character in AEW. What was her? She used her real name there, whatever it was.
Trinity.
You have to have a good dance partner, and I don't think AEW has a lot of good dance partners. Like,
Well, look,
you put her in the ring with Tony Storm, and it's going to be a barn burner.
Well, look at what she did. She left the nurturing biosphere known as WWE,
which, by the way, put her over huge.
Right, and she left there and went to New Japan, and she wasn't built for it. She got hurt, and then she got healthy, and then she got hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
She's not.
She's
not a big frame girl. She's not tough.
And I want to say something just so I don't offend anybody. I watched awesome WWE yesterday, and now we have to watch the lesser women's division. It's not that I think that the women don't try, they don't put forth the effort or whatever, but WWE's women's division head and shoulders above anything else in the world. And they got 20 women that could main event matches.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, the whole reason I wanted to be on tonight was to talk about the women, right? AEW has the talent. I don't know if they are willing to nurture the division. That's the difference between WWE and AEW right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
WWE has spent time with the producers and everything else, making sure that their women stand out as equal to the men, right? Where I think AEW is trying to get there, but they're not putting everything they can to make sure that the women have the same type of quality matches that the men are having. The talent is the same. I think the women, you put them in WWE, right, and you give them even 6 months in NXT or anything, they can be there. Jade Cargill is probably a perfect example, who probably was not as good in AEW, but is showing perfect example of being gold in WWE.
Andrew, go.
Accentuating Justin's point, and Dave said yesterday on the post-game show they weren't going to talk politics. 3 of the 6 matches in Saudi Arabia featured women in WWE. That
is a big step.
That's what you call commitment. 3 of the 6 matches featured women. Very good women that are head and shoulders above anything that AEW can offer. Now, Justin's right. If they invest in the women and commit to the women, they can cultivate a women's division. But Tony Khan is too busy with the shiny new toys. He doesn't even know how to use who was the best wrestler in the world in Okada. So he does not know how to use Okada. He's inserted him with the Elite because Okada needs someone to talk for him, or so that's what they think. But to the women point, he doesn't know how to use what he has. And again, another mismanagement of resources. That's the problem in AEW.
And I don't know if maybe you're having a problem with the younger women learning from the established women. Maybe, I don't know, with that attitude about the young people learning from the veterans, that we've heard that there's talent that's not interested in taking criticism or advice from veterans. But like I said, Athena, tremendous teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Tremendous teacher. probably the best woman on their roster. Probably. Toni Storm, hell of a talent. They just put her over Charlotte Flair clean. WWE had plans for her. She's a hell of a talent. Saraya, in ring, hell of a talent before she got hurt.
And also great promo.
Yeah, but you can't tell me those three alone can't teach and bring up. A good dance partner is what I'm saying. So,
Serena Deeb, you missed her.
Serena Deeb's the best as far as
terrible promo. Terrible. Yeah. She should be in charge of their women's division.
She's a hell of a teacher.
Here's the thing. The one thing we talked about: storytelling. WWE is great at storytelling. AEW, not so much. We talked about that was the first point we brought up at the beginning of the show when I talked about how bad this pay-per-view was going to be, and you were like, "Oh, it's going to be great in ring." Their women's division lacking in ring. It's not terrible, but it's not great. But their division is terrible because they don't have anyone that can freaking write for them. Mm-hmm. They don't have good promos. WWE has women's wrestlers that are not great, but they are top stars because they can cut a promo. AEW is doomed. I hate this. I wanted them to succeed so bad, and they're not going to.
I still think there's hope.
There's not, because Tony Khan's not going to give up his power. He's not. He needs to bring in.
But I've heard from very reliable sources that the new president guy they hired from WWE, he has gave that man some power. So he does. And Rome wasn't built overnight. So.
And it's just about investing in the talent.
Well, you're going to need someone in the writer's room. This is a creative businson. You got to have someone in the writer's room.
They brought the writer that Sasha's so crazy about, that Peppercorn or something like that.
Peppercorn,
the female writer, right?
Yeah, I think her name might be Peppercorn.
Yeah,
but she's not good, or at least the promos aren't good. So
yeah, I mean, out of the gate, I'm not impressed. But
no Brian Gerwitz.
We don't know if she's following him yet. So I mean,
right?
Can't really knock her unless we know for a fact that she's following.
Well, and also you can't let the inmates run the asylum. And you can't let Sasha bring in her personal writer. Kind of like Gerwitz. You let The Rock bring in his personal writer and run everything. We may not be the best idea.
But that's not the best example, because Brian Gerwitz has years.
He was awesome.
I
mean, but
it's not the best example. And it's also The Rock. And let's face it, The Rock is magnetism. I mean, that's, when you look at him, you're looking at somebody,
Yeah. So we've talked all this women's wrestling. Amy, you're the woman. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree with everything you're saying. The storytelling is just not there. They have great talent. You've mentioned
lots of in-ring talent.
Lots of Well, I think we've all talked about that. Even AEW as a whole, it's like we really don't have there's nothing that's making me really want to see, Mercedes beat Willow or fight or, whatever. Like it's just not there. And I think Tony Khan has enough money that we'll see it. It's not a WCW thing where they're running out of money. He could fund this forever. And again, if you're, if people
dear God, let's hope not.
If people are getting, millions of dollars a year, like some have been said to get, I mean,
and losing basketball, Warner Brothers Discovery needs them now.
It's a big deal.
This is not a bad thing for AEW. This really strengthened their position, and hopefully, if there's hopefully the TNT will lose. They'll lose the NHL too, because
you really think that
are horrible?
They're drawing 700,000 a show now. That's like a decent episode of The Closer. I mean, do you really think they need them?
It's content in a world for a world. See, you're just hearing about the normal TV ratings. You're not hearing about what the replay, watching it on the streaming. Consumption is not like it used to be. And if I was them, I wouldn't do Wednesday night. Wednesday night's a death slot. Wednesday night's a horrible night for wrestling. I would go ahead and move to Tuesday night now, knowing SmackDown's coming. I'd move it to Tuesday night and go right ahead with NXT.
Why? Because you want to get your dick knocked in the dirt?
No. I think you'd benefit from channel switchers. I'd go head to head with Raw. I think that you would
on Netflix.
Advantage. Well, no, right now I would already go to USA and go head to head with Raw, or I'd go to Tuesday night and go head to head with NXT, because if there's an audience already watching, they're going to be channel changers.
Mm-hmm.
They would get more viewers going head to head. I believe that, and getting off Wednesday night, because Wednesday night's horrible. People are going to flip the channels back and forth.
It's honestly, Tony has created two different styles of wrestling now. So you have WWE, which is traditional, story-based, that kind of thing. Tony is trying to create Japanese wrestling in the United States.
Yeah, kind of.
And it's drawing a crowd. I don't know that it's a growing crowd.
It's not a growing crowd.
Well,
it's a dying crowd, honestly.
Well, the question is, how can WWE sell out arena after arena after arena after arena, and you can't fill 5,000 seats at AEW? Now, I'm not actually asking. That's rhetorical. But that's the point.
Well, no,
Dave,
hold on.
AEW can do whatever they want.
Stop. The better question is, because I'm going to further your point here, Andrew. How can WWE sell out night after night after night, and AEW cannot sell out and draw 5,000 in arenas with ex-WWE talent?
Because WWE sells itself. There's no talent on that roster bigger.
Incorrect. No.
WWE is the star.
Nope, it's not.
I think it's utilization
Brand
of the people.
Star. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get an entertaining product. WWE can sell. They can sell out an event without even announcing a match.
Andrew, say your point.
That
was part of it, and I was, like I said, is rhetorical. But now that Dave's brought this up, I'm going to counterpoint this. When Double or Nothing was announced, 2019, the tickets sold out in less than 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
4 minutes. 14,500 people at the MGM Grand. 4 minutes.
Thirsting. I was in it.
When they announced in Chicago, less than 10 minutes for the first All Out. Less than 10 minutes. When they announced Full Gear, less than 10 minutes. The point was, people were very, very, very hungry for something different.
Mm-hmm.
And two things have happened. Number one, the Diamonds have lost their luster with AEW. You're no longer the alternative product people want to watch. You're the 1999, 2000 WCW that's painful to get through for 2 hours a night. Secondly, Vincent Kennedy McMahon is no longer in charge of WWE, and there is a professional wrestler who loves wrestling, producing wrestling products in conjunction with a multinational company that is going to
wrestlers now.
Calling themselves wrestlers, but the TKO, let's not sleep on the fact that WWE is owned by TKO, which is a global brand in itself.
Mm-hmm.
That largest gate in France ever in an arena show, they had 14,000 people there. 14,000 people there. And it's the largest gate in the history of a company that goes back 70 or 80 years.
And let's also look that AEW has caught themselves up with what I like to call the Dixie Carter syndrome.
Mm.
They think if they've been released from WWE that they're worth having.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, and like I say, I talk about his mismanagement of resources. Granted, is it 5 hours of weekly television? He can't get every M plus ROH, which is on the app. He can't get all his roster on television in those 5 hours.
Let's cut slack on Rampage and Collision because they've been Westminster dog showed to death with the NBA and between the NBA and hockey.
I didn't watch Collision before the playoffs, though, Dave. It's Saturday night at 8:00. Get the fuck out of here.
That's not a good spot either. But what I'm saying is, I don't know. I'm the last couple of weeks I've caught AEW programming at odd times, just flipping channels, not knowing they were on when they weren't supposed to be on.
Hold on,
right?
So you just said Wednesday is a death knoll, so that was their original slot, and then you just said Saturday at 8 p.m. also not a good slot. So maybe we should get some better time slots for this wrestling. Just saying.
If I was,
it's something worth watching.
well, I mean,
Amy, what? Maybe you should put some television on that we like. Okay, I like that.
maybe not prime time on Saturday. Maybe go like 10:30, 11:30 Central.
9 a.m. on Saturday morning.
I mean, go get Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Wrestling used to traditionally come on late.
It did.
And if you're on late, there's a good chance.
40 years from that, though, Pondwater. Nobody watches Saturday Night Live either. They catch it on.
Don't forget 605 though. That was the whole point of Collision.
CBS.
But you're catering to a young crowd that they're going out and partying on Saturday night. They're not sitting home watching this stuff.
All right, I've seen the crowd at AEW. They ain't going out on a Saturday night.
Stop it, Timothy.
Wonderful. Oh, we're off the rails.
We are. Is the pre-show started?
So I don't think we've. It is the
Okay.
buy-in is about to start, but I don't think we've given our picks on the Monet
Main event, yeah,
or the main event.
Monet wins. They spent way too much money. Yeah, they spent way too much money. But I will go ahead and say that I don't think Swerve Strickland leaves Las Vegas without that title, and Nana's going to dance his ass all the way out to the ring and all the way back to the locker room,
which is stupid.
I love it. I love it. I love that damn dance.
I think Christian is a feeder tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going to make him look good, and he's finally going to get the quote comeuppance, even though they haven't done a really great job telling that story, making Swerve look stupid every week. But he's going to get Christian tonight. And the good news is Christian is a very capable worker who's going to put on a very believable wrestling match with
even
Swerve
at
Strickland.
74. Yes.
He is doing his best work.
Is that the order? Like, did they say what the last match of the night's going to be?
Did you just say his best work? His best work?
This is his best work.
Incorrect.
When was his best work, Tim? As a single.
He was going against Jericho in 2003.
That was pretty good. Yeah, that was
also
good.
Jericho's best work, by the way.
18 years ago.
That was
Chris
a
Jericho
long time ago.
2004, actually, but yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Tim's point holds.
Him and Edge were pretty good tag team, but I think Christian's heel work and he has been incredible in AEW. He hasn't been
incredible. That's a word.
He hasn't been the piss break that he's been for his whole career towards me.
I think as for a WWE acquisition of his
acquisition.
Thank you, acquisition, whatever.
Acquisition.
WWE accusations usually come in the form of NDAs.
Oh, that's true. That's very true.
He hadn't been accused of anything.
For an ex-WWE star in AEW, he has probably been the best, even over Jericho. Because now, like you all said, I think Jericho is really starting to, dip down. But he has really been doing his, like you said, doing great work here in AEW.
Yeah, Christian's in his prime.
What match do you think is going to go on last?
It better be Swerve and Christian.
That's going to be the Elite.
Well, yeah, you're probably right because it's the chaos.
They run that joint.
Yeah.
Do you think that? So if the Elite wins, then the crowd will go home unhappy.
Well, I don't know. They're all AEW fans. AEW, as much shit as I give the Young Bucks, without being the Elite, the YouTube show, there's no All Elite Wrestling. True. That's their one contribution to professional wrestling, is that they created a promotion with a YouTube show or at least the desire for it.
Timid.
Cody Rhodes would like a word. Just saying.
He was on Being the Elite, sir.
I know it. Yeah, he was the star.
That YouTube show drove the desire for All Elite Wrestling, and you'll
Great.
never convince me
They're
otherwise.
fabulous YouTubers. I still think the Pauls would kick their ass.
Fun director.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all on how they end the show. There's a lot of surprises that they could do. We've all been to the AEW pay-per-views, right? And it's all on how you end the show. You could totally end it with a match as long as you got some surprises that will pop the crowd. That's what people remember the most. It's not who wins or loses at that time, right? So you could debut someone, you could bring someone back. There's a lot of options tonight. So
I think it's dark days ahead for AEW. I think the Elite is going to stand victorious, and there's going to be a surprise. I would not be surprised to see Tony Khan holding their hands up, a la Eric Bischoff NWO.
I was thinking more Vince, the higher power in '99. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Here's what I think AEW is going to hire Shane McMahon, and he's going to come back for this pay-per-view.
Could you imagine if he did that? If he booked Vince? He got Vince to come out.
No, book Shane. Forget Vince. Book Shane.
So even more of a swerve, MJF, and he sides with the Young Bucks. I mean,
supposedly he was in Arizona.
But I'm just saying, I mean, think about it. I mean, he's one of the best heels I think they got.
Yes.
I mean,
very much so.
Leading that group, I mean, that just shits on everybody.
Yeah, the thing is, and I don't want to sleep on this. Am I wrong in thinking Jack Perry is the leader of this Elite?
He's acting like it.
Maybe they bring in what was his partner? Jungle Boy
Griff.
And
Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus.
Kill switch.
Well,
Luchasaurus is leading.
He's with
the
Christian
now.
Yeah, he's with Christian. But no,
I hate Jack Perry so much.
I could be wrong, but it looks like Jack Perry though they're making him the face of this after all the nonsense with Punk and the rest. You know.
I agree. Yeah, they are.
I think it's the only way to say face after it, but
he's also a better promo than either of the Jacksons.
I'm okay
Michael
with it. Again,
or
you're
Tito.
Correct.
I thought it was Janet or Latoya.
Also correct.
Could be Jermaine.
Yeah.
You're all older than me. I don't know all the Jacksons' names.
But
I'd like to see him featured on a milk carton.
I do like using real life. I mean, that is kind of. I mean, I don't like the way they did it, but I mean, at least they are. Even though CM Punk's no longer there.
I was gonna say the best part of this storyline is now in another company.
And it's real cheeky. Everybody uses the whole Matt Hardy Lita thing that they made a lot of money. I got one better for you. Triple H and The Rock. True rivalry between the two. Absolutely couldn't stand each other in the locker room. Wanted to be the $1 million players. Their rivalry made the wrestling product better, despite the fact they didn't really like each other for 20 years.
But they understood what good business was, and
But it was business.
Yeah.
And you got CM Punk who can't do fucking business, and then the Young Bucks and Kenny and the rest have proved they can't do business either.
I challenge that. I think if you got adults that are willing to work together, I think it's all about the atmosphere. You need an adult controlling the situation.
Yes, you need.
That's the difference between WWE and AEW.
Very true.
You have locker room leaders that aren't going to stand for that in WWE.
But here's what I'm going to tell you right now, because we are already over.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
Us talking about this makes me want to buy this pay-per-view. So I might actually watch this. It's crazy.
I'm definitely going to watch it.
I haven't watched AEW in, I guarantee, 6 months.
Well,
and I might watch this tonight just because of us.
Then are we going to pop back on? Party. Are we going to do a post?
Is the pay-per-view on the watch party? Because be a cheap way for me to get it.
I think AEW runs until like 1 o'clock.
That's not legal. We can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What'd you say, Fun Director?
I think AEW pay-per-views run until about like after 12 o'clock. So I'm dedicated until after. But
I'm good for a couple hours.
If Elkaraz on there, I'll make him the co-host to go to bed then.
All
right.
Be
Well,
like
thank
a Jerry
you.
Lewis telethon. I'm gonna be like Jerry. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll be back for the main.
Well, thank you for joining us on the Ram Network. We,
For y'all that don't know,
depending
what
on
the
how
Ram Network
long it
is,
goes, we may come back for the post show.
well, let's
You know,
let's
and
go
what
around the
happens,
horn and
too,
tell
we
everybody
don't
what
wanna
the Ram Network is. I'm Palm Water Dave, and me and Amy are on Talking Wrestling with Palm Water Dave. In the middle, you have Timmy C, who is part of the Filter Free Popcast.
No, I am the Filter Free Popcast. They just kind of tag on the end of it.
Justin Yent is the producer of the Filter Free Popcast,
I'm the fun director.
a fun
So,
director.
He
Fun
handles
director.
all the live events.
Yeah.
Andrew Hermes is up there as the A in the TNA Top 10.
He's definitely the a-hole.
Correct. Always.
Those are our podcasts, and together we all mix and match and do fun stuff on the Ram Network at theramnetwork.com. That's our Patreon, where we're doing bonus content. Tim and I do World Class Flashback. We're going week by week through 1983 for World Class Championship Wrestling, my favorite year of professional wrestling ever. Andrew over there is doing Hard Times,
Hard Times and Beyond.
Hard Times
Times
and Beyond.
Through 85, 86, 87 NWA.
I was hoping
And
to jump in.
yesterday we did the watch along. Dave in the HSV had never seen Magnum and Tully in the cage. What a tragedy that is, considering how long he's watched wrestling. And it's off his list now. And you're welcome.
Yes.
But no, that was a lot of fun. I do not have that type of expectation for this pay-per-view that I did for 1985 The Gathering.
No,
Okay.
this much lower. That much.
It's just his dad.
But no, it's fun. We have a lot of fun, and it's collaborative. And Pondwater was on with us yesterday because he had to see the look on Dave's face when he actually saw the cage match.
Yeah.
And it was worth it. It was
Okay,
worth
good.
it.
All right.
And
So
you
guys,
can see it too over on the Ram Network.
exactly. So go to www.patreon.com/Ram Network. And also tonight, go watch this pay-per-view. AEW Double or Nothing. We hope it's okay. Thank you for joining us, guys.
You're going to talented people trying real hard. I mean,
Exactly.
it's going to be different. I mean, it's different than it's a different presentation than what was on from Saudi Arabia yesterday.
Exactly.
But
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Anything else?
Nope.
Pondwater?
no, I'm just saying that it's like, think of tonight as a 3-ring circus. Some people like the lion tamers, some people like the trapeze, some people like the clowns. There's something for everybody tonight.
This is going to be seeing the Clowns 13 matches in a row. Thank you. Have a good
Same as
night.
here. Our 3-ring circus.